All the information shared in this video is available on the public platform. Nothing is discussed here which may breach the confidentiality of our armed forces. Defense Detective respects our defense forces and works only on the information that is available for public use.
Hello friends, welcome to another episode of Defense Detective Global. In today's video, we are going to tell you about an island where India is said to be building its secret military base. However, neither the government of the country to which the island belongs to, nor is the Indian government are saying anything about it. But the anti-India lobby and the anti-India media like Al Jazeera are crying foul and pointing it to the world that look what has been India doing. Many of you might have recognized this island. If you haven't, then let us tell you, this is Agalega Island of Mauritius. The international media is abuzz about it lately. It is being claimed that India is building its first overseas naval and air base on this island. So our today's video is about this. Why is Agalega Island so important? Is India really building its military base here? If yes, then why has India chosen this island? What is its benefit to India and why is China having a problem because of it? We will try to find answers to all these questions in today's video. There is a saying, you may be smart but I am smarter. This is in context of China and India because China is encircling India through the string of pearls while India is encircling it through the necklace of diamonds. And the Agalega Island can prove to be a very important link in this. Some development being done by India on the Agalega Island, about 3,100 kilometers away from the Kochi naval base, is troubling the anti-India lobby. The enemies are scared that if India's military might reach this island, then the whole game will be overturned. Not only China but Pakistan too is getting perturbed by this so-called secret project of India. It is being claimed that India is preparing its first overseas naval and air force base on this island. Anti-India media houses like Al Jazeera are making too much fuss about it. Al Jazeera has even claimed it to be India's secret military base. There are two islands together in the Indian Ocean, about 1,100 kilometers away from Port Louis, the capital of Mauritius. The area of both the islands together is only 24 square kilometers. And the total population is around 300. Most of the people here work as coconut farmers and fishermen. The picture here is changing rapidly since 2018. Despite being a large island, there was no jetty here for large ships. Early, MV Troshekia used to reach here every 3 months with essential goods, but due to lack of jetty facility, it could not reach the shore. Goods were brought to the island in small boats. But now, two big jetties are being constructed here. Earlier, there was an 800-meter airstrip on which Mauritius Coast Guard's propeller planes used to land. But now, a 3-kilometer-long runway has been prepared on which even large planes can land. And there's no doubt that India is operating these developmental projects running on this Mauritian island. Apart from the developmental projects, the question arises whether this island is really going to become India's secret military base. It is difficult to get a direct answer to this because neither India nor Mauritius has made any official statement regarding this. But if we carefully look at the geopolitics and muscle power going on in the Indian Ocean, things will become very clear. To understand the geopolitics, you first have to understand the relationship between India and Mauritius. Do you know when is the National Day or Independence Day of Mauritius celebrated? It is on 12th of March. This date is not only special for Mauritius, but also for India. In 1968, when Mauritius was about to get independence from British rule, the leaders of Mauritius chose 12th March as their Independence Day. This date was chosen because on March 12 in 1930, Mahatma Gandhi had started the Dandi March for Salt Satyagraha. Mauritius had decided to celebrate its Independence Day on this date as a tribute to Mahatma Gandhi.
Today, 12th of March is a date symbolically chosen as a fitting tribute to Mahatma Gandhi, as it was the date on which Gandhiji started his Dandi March, the Salt Satyagraha.
India and Mauritius have close relations. 68% of the population of Mauritius is of Indian origin. For the last several decades, the elected Prime Minister and President of Mauritius have been of Indian origin. Just once in so many years, for around 2 years, there was a non-Hindu, non-Indian origin Prime Minister in Mauritius. Mauritius attained freedom in 1968, but diplomatic ties between the two countries were established in 1948, which gained momentum after 1968. In 1970, then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi visited Mauritius And in 1974, the first Prime Minister of Mauritius, Sir Sivasagar Ramagulam, visited India. Political, business, and cultural relations between India and Mauritius are very strong. Till now, 5 Prime Ministers of India have addressed the Parliament of Mauritius.
Excellency, your presence amongst us today epitomizes the deep friendship, affection, and goodwill that India has always displayed towards Mauritius. It is an affection and a goodwill which we in Mauritius happily and warmly reciprocate. Excellency, it is the first time in the history of our Parliament that a Prime Minister from the Republic of India would be addressing the House on the date itself that Mauritius acceded to its independence. Today, you will be the 5th Prime Minister of India to address the National Assembly of Mauritius since we attained independence in 1968, a testimony to the unique relation which Mauritius and India share. Indeed, Srimati Indira Gandhi was the first foreign head of government to address this House following our independence.
In the last few years, relations between the two countries have become stronger. When Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Mauritius in 2015, many historic agreements were signed between the two countries. India also announced a credit of $500 million for infrastructural development in Mauritius.
Today, I was pleased to offer a concessional line of credit of $500 million for civil infrastructure projects for Mauritius. We also intend to quickly build the petroleum storage and bunkering facility in Mauritius. This will not only benefit Mauritius, but also reinforce its role as a regional hub. A decade ago, India helped build the first cyber city in Mauritius. Its remarkable success reflects the strategic foresight of Mauritius in diversifying its economy. Today, we have offered support for construction of the second cyber city.
PM Narendra Modi had jointly carried out the offshoring of petrol vessel MCGS Barracuda with then Mauritius PM Anirudh Jugnauth. Barracuda petrol vessel was given to Mauritius by India.
With the commissioning of the new Coast Guard ship Barracuda,
The metro project and hospital built with the help of India were also inaugurated by the Prime Ministers of both the countries through video conferencing on 3rd October 2019. So you can understand how strong and deep India's presence is in Mauritius. It can be said that India has a huge contribution in the development of Mauritius. But the question is whether India is really building a secret defense base on Agalega Island. We got an indication about this in the speech given by PM Modi during his visit to Mauritius in 2015. You heard what India's PM Narendra Modi said during his visit to Mauritius in 2015. Now let us show you that part of PM Modi's speech which will help you understand clearly about what's being done on this island.
Our agreement today on the development of Agalega Island is a major stride in our cooperation in infrastructure sector. It demonstrates the depth of our mutual confidence. Mauritius has shown great vision in the development of its ocean economy. Our agreement on cooperation in the ocean economy is an important step in our scientific and economic partnership.
So you must have understood that the construction work going on at Agalega Island in Mauritius is part of the deal done between India and Mauritius in the year 2015. The deal was officially announced at that time. It was said during the deal that maritime security, anti-piracy and illegal fishing would be banned on this island. The project has been awarded to Afcons, one of the largest infrastructure construction company of India. According to Al Jazeera, in the financial report of the year 2018-19, the company has mentioned about a project worth $250 million from the Ministry of External Affairs of India. Al Jazeera has mentioned a bulk carrier GLOSEM in its report. It has mentioned in the report when and for how many days this bulk carrier set sail from India and headed to Agalega Island. In the same report, Al Jazeera has claimed that between early 2019 and 2021, more than 12 ships had movement between India and Agalega Island. So it is being claimed by Al Jazeera that India is preparing its naval and air defense base at Agalega. So it is clearly visible that the project going on in Agalega is not a secret. The deal made between the two countries is known to the world. The construction company, the movement of ships, the funds, everything is known. Pictures and videos of the work going on are also being shown in the Mauritius media. So the question arises that who is spreading it, that India is preparing its military base here, and is there any truth in it? However, till now, neither the government of India nor of Mauritius have said that India will use the ongoing projects in Agalega to build India's military base, though it is certain that the Coast Guard of Mauritius will use it for its security. Questions have also been raised in the Parliament of Mauritius regarding India's use of this island. Listen to what Pravin Jugnauth, Prime Minister of Mauritius, had said in his Parliament on 6th April 2023.
I have always reassured the House that those infrastructural developments, once completed, I'm talking mainly of the airstrip and the jetty, they will be fully under the control of the authorities of the Republic of Mauritius, namely the Department of Civil Aviation for the airstrip and the Mauritius Ports Authority.
But it is also true that for the last several years, India has been rapidly strengthening its position in the Indian Ocean. The work in this direction had been started more than 20 years ago. Talks between the two countries regarding Agalega Island also started around 2006. In 2012, Mauritius had also offered to hand over Agalega Island to India to save the double taxation avoidance treaty signed between the two countries in 1983. Look at this news published in Economic Times on 6 July 2012. Its heading is Mauritius offers India 2 islands in effort to preserve tax treaty. As per this news, the Foreign and Trade Affairs Minister of Mauritius, Arvind Bulel, who visited India, said that India can use Agalega Island for tourism, marine studies, or to strengthen its strategic presence in the Indian Ocean. It means that the India connection of this island can be divided mainly in 4 years. 2006, when talks started between the two countries for the first time regarding this island. 2012, when Mauritius offered India to use Agalega Island to save tax treaty. 2015, when PM Modi visited Mauritius and a deal was signed between the two countries regarding Agalega. And 2023, when the new runway at Agalega is ready. Also, the construction of 2 big jetties is almost near completion. But there are some other things which indicate that this island is going to become a strategic point for India. Let us show you the outcome budget of the Government of India for the year 2016-17. Look at the page number 65 of this budget released for the Ministry of External Affairs. It is clearly written here that the Government of India is preparing to develop maritime surveillance capacity in Agalega Island of Mauritius. It is also written in one of its columns that a team of experts from the Ministry of Defence will go for the survey in January 2016. It means that India's Defence Ministry is involved in this project. Now understand the second point. The GLOSEM bulk carrier that Al Jazeera talked about set sail from Visakhapatnam, which is the headquarters of the Eastern Naval Command. Similarly, other ships also arrived at Agalega from other Indian naval bases like Kerala and Mumbai. Strategic affairs researchers around the world also have no doubt that Agalega is going to become India's defence base. Samuel Bashfield is research officer at the Australian National University. He has done a lot of research on Indian Ocean strategic and geopolitical issues. He says that even though this island is small, it is very important from the strategic point of view, and it will not be a surprise if India builds its military base here. Similarly, Al Jazeera has also published an interview with Abhishek Mishra, Associate Fellow of Delhi-based think tank Observer Research Foundation. According to him, this will be used for berthing of ships and the runway will be mostly used for India's P-8I maritime patrol aircraft. These P-8I aircraft bought from America for maritime security are very effective in surveillance as well as anti-surface and anti-submarine warfare. It means that they are very effective in war conditions as well. The 3-kilometer runway built at Agalega is also suitable for the operation of other fighter planes of India. So it can be said that India is preparing its defense base on Agalega Island. According to Al Jazeera, Russia was showing interest in this island in 1975. It is said that Russia wanted to buy it and build its base here, but nothing could be finalized. In the same news, it is written that the American intelligence agency CIA had wrote an internal memo in 2006 regarding India's interest in Agalega Island. Now that it is clear that India is making Agalega Island its strategic point, then it is also important to understand why India needed it. Why is India building its naval and air defense base about 1,000 kilometers away from its maritime border? To understand this, we have to understand the Indian Ocean and the possible dangers to it. China's increasing influence in the Indian Ocean can prove to be a big challenge for India. China is trying to encircle India from all sides through the string of pearls. Under the Look South policy, it has built many bases one after the other in the Indian Ocean and the Bay of Bengal. It has infiltrated into Bangladesh, Myanmar and Sri Lanka in the name of developing naval bases. Similarly, China has also presence in Maldives and Seychelles. Pakistan's Gwadar port is also one such example. Apart from this, China has prepared a big naval base in the African country Djibouti. Djibouti is in a place from where China can block the Bab el-Mandab Strait. This strait connects the Arabian Sea and the Gulf of Aden to the Red Sea. Later, this Red Sea meets the Mediterranean Sea through the Suez Canal. This is a very important route for maritime transportation. However, apart from China, America, France, Germany, Italy, Britain, Japan and Saudi Arabia also have military installations here. China forgave the loan given to Comoros for its mission in Africa and made it a part of its Belt and Road Initiative. This also increased China's presence in Comoros, which is a small country in the Indian Ocean but is very important from a strategic point of view. It is on the way to Mozambique Channel. China has made huge investments in Mozambique in Africa. Chinese company CNPC is working on an LNG project in Mozambique. Its first cargo ship was dispatched from Mozambique on 14 November 2022. Similarly, big Chinese projects are going on in many countries including South Africa, Tanzania and Madagascar. Look at this news published in Nikkei Asia on June 30, 2021. Tanzania is going to revive its port project worth $10 billion and China is going to invest most of the money in it. A ship repair hub or something more can be built here to repair Chinese naval ships. The Mozambique Channel passes between Madagascar and Africa. It is a very important route from the Indian Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean. Especially oil tankers use this route. This route is very important for China. It is the main route for China's trade with African and European countries. China imports more than 40% of its crude oil from Middle Eastern countries through this route. Mozambique is also an easy prey for China. Mozambique's military is considered very corrupt. This country often remains a victim of political instability. Since this is an important route of international trade, pirate attacks also keep happening here. The navies of France and South Africa are deployed here for security, but if China builds its base in this region, then PLA will also have presence in this channel. Experts say that China's Malacca dilemma is behind huge investment and building bases in African countries. China is always in a state of doubt on the Malacca Strait. The presence of Indian and American navies there can be a hindrance for it at any time. For such a situation, China is busy preparing a route where it can dominate. China is preparing the Mozambique Channel for such a route, where it will have many bases. But India's presence in this area can become a cause of trouble for China. The presence of the Indian Navy and Air Force on Agalega Island in Mauritius may put a halt to China's business on the Mozambique Channel. China has not only created its business empire in African countries, but apart from Djibouti, it has also created its military base in Equatorial Guinea. See this news. The heading of this news of the Maritime Exclusive, published on January 7, 2022 is Why Equatorial Guinea May Host China's First Atlantic Naval Base. In the year 2022 itself, the US Navy and Maxar Technology also released pictures of the Chinese base built in Equatorial Guinea. Naval base, commercial port, oil terminal and warehouse complex are clearly visible in it. After this, many pictures of this Chinese base have surfaced. Though this is a small country in Africa, but from a strategic point of view, by building a naval base here, China not only directly interfered in the Atlantic Ocean, but also became a threat to America. Similarly, China had also planned to build a base in Papua New Guinea near Australia, but at the last moment, America put a halt to it. It means that China is strengthening its position at every place which is important in the circumstances of trade and war. So India is also responding to this move of China. To counter China, India has also rapidly strengthened its position in the Indian Ocean. Agalega Island of Mauritius is a part of this. But to understand India's strategy further, let us move away from Mauritius and talk about Seychelles. In 2012, India and Seychelles had signed several deals related to maritime security. This also included installation of coastal radar system and supply of Dornier surveillance aircraft at a cost of Rs 140 million. In early 2013, India delivered the first Dornier aircraft to Seychelles. Apart from this, 5 patrol boats and INS Tarasa, which is now called PS Constant, and INS Thermogly, now called PS Topaz, delivered to Seychelles. The big day of the 2012 deal came when in 2015, Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Mauritius, Seychelles and Sri Lanka. India installed its first coastal surveillance radar system in Seychelles. This was a big success for India. Actually, India wants to keep an eye on every movement of the Indian Ocean. For this reason, it is installing 32 coastal surveillance radar systems in this region. This includes not only its maritime border areas, but also Bangladesh, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Mauritius, Maldives and Seychelles. Not only this, India had also done preparations to build its naval base on Assumption Island in Seychelles. In the outcome budget of 2016-17, in which Agalega Island of Mauritius was mentioned, Assumption Island of Seychelles was also mentioned. In August 2015, India had signed a deal to build a joint naval base on Assumption Island in Seychelles. Although Seychelles later withdrew from it, India is hopeful that this too will be resolved soon. Apart from Mauritius and Seychelles, India has set up several centers in this region. India has set up its strategic listening post and radar facility in Madagascar. With this, India can keep an eye on every movement in the southern Indian Ocean. Along with this, India has a listening post in Ras Al Had in Oman. The Indian Navy has berthing rights on the Muscat Naval Base in Oman. Since 2018, the access rights to Oman's port city Dukm are also with the Indian Air Force and Navy. China had trapped Comoros to control the Mozambique Channel, but India has also signed many deals with Comoros. India is helping in the developmental project of Comoros. In January 2023, the Finance Minister of Comoros had come to Delhi and a deal was signed between the two countries. Along with this, Chabahar port of Iran is also being developed by India. It is very close to the Gwadar port of Pakistan, which has been developed by China. From here, not only Gwadar port, but the entire establishment of China is within the range of India. Along with other countries, India has also prepared new defense setups in its maritime border. Construction of new airstrips and water aerodromes in Andaman and Nicobar and Lakshadweep Islands is a big step in this direction. The special thing is that France has a naval base on Reunion Island near Mauritius, while US Army is present on Diego Garcia. If in any case the situation between India and China worsens, India can also get help from these two bases. So India has also strengthened itself strategically, and not just to keep an eye on China's activities in the Indian Ocean and Arabian Sea region. India has invested in many other countries and island countries of the Indian Ocean. Through this, India's hold in this area has also been strengthened. That's why we had said that if China is smart, India is smarter. That's all in today's video. If you liked it, please tell us in the comments. And if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe it. See you soon with another video. Till then, goodbye. Jai Hind.